Welcome back to my Madden 23 franchise with the Philadelphia Eagles. Today we are officially starting Season 6 and getting through the entire preseason. If you didn't watch the last video, we took care of the entire offseason. I looked at season awards, we did free agency and the draft. But now I'm going to show you guys the free agents that I picked up following the draft. I brought in a couple veteran quarterbacks here to compete for our third string quarterback job. Obviously Glenn McCutcheon will be our starter, Don Barnett will be our backup, but Marcus Mariota will compete for third string. But he will be competing against former number 2 overall pick for the Philadelphia Eagles, quarterback Carson Wentz. He's one of the best players available in free agency that had the mentor player tag. He's a 69 overall, and he will compete against Marcus Mariota for the third string job. I also brought in running back Zamir White to be a backup running back here. He will be competing with probably Kennedy Brooks and rookie Keith Dalton for a roster spot. No guarantee that any of these guys here will even make the roster, including power running back Ramondre Stevenson. There were 3 free agent wide receivers that I brought in. I did bring back wide receiver Juan Jeffries on a 1-year contract. It won't cost us anything if he doesn't make the roster, but I brought him in. He's been on the team, I think, most of this entire series. He does have 99 speed. I also brought in Tyler Young, another speedy receiver who's a 75 overall. And then I brought in Derek McCall, a 90 speed receiver, and I believe I brought him in, because he has 87 catching right now. I also brought tight end Grant Calcaterra back to this team. He was on this team for a few years, but I didn't feel like he was good enough to be the backup tight end, so I went ahead and moved on, drafted Teddy Austin, and got rid of Calcaterra, but now I brought him back to be our third tight end. Jumping over to the secondary, I brought in a couple veteran corners here, one of them being Dante Jackson, 92 speed, 79 play rec, 75 man coverage, and defensive back Trey Brown, 71 overall with 91 speed, 73 man coverage, and 71 play rec. And then down here I brought in undrafted rookie Joe Penner, who's a 65 overall. He's pretty fast with a 92 speed. His 61 man coverage isn't great, but he does have 73 play rec, which I believe was the reason I actually brought him in. The reason I brought in so many corners now is last year in the Super Bowl, we actually had an injury, I believe, to Caleb Farley, and Dalton Aiken had to come into the game. Yes, he did end up with a pick 6, even though we lost the game, but I would like to not have to rely on a 68 overall corner with 63 overall man coverage to be my backup defensive back. Over at safety, I still have CJ Gardner-Johnson as our strong safety, even though in real life it doesn't look like the Eagles are going to bring him back. I've had him here for the last few seasons. I signed veteran backup Adrian Amos, who's an 80 overall, 34 years old, but still has 90 speed, 81 play rec, 79 zone coverage. I brought him in just in case we get an injury to CJ Gardner-Johnson. We're not completely screwed at safety. I also brought in undrafted rookie Sean Brown. He will be fighting to make the roster. 84 speed, 63 play rec, and 62 zone. He's going to have a pretty uphill battle. I am going to simulate all 3 of these preseason games in this video. I don't know how much we're actually going to watch of any of them. I'm probably going to super sim most of the game, but I want to see guys like Carson Wentz and Don Barnett, our backup quarterback, who will be competing for second and third string. If Wentz plays really well, he could take over Don Barnett's second string job, but I highly doubt it. One player I will be looking for a lot in this preseason is wide receiver Jonathan Stern. He comes in with 97 speed, 94 acceleration, has some pretty solid deep route running. He was drafted in the 2nd round, but he's not the only receiver we took. I also took wide receiver Tremaine Powell out of Auburn. He comes in with a normal depth rate, which kind of sucks, but 75 overall and 98 speed. That's going to be the big thing with him. We now jump into the first preseason game, already down 7-0. We may not watch any defense at all during this preseason, if I'm being completely honest, but we'll start with a handoff to Brian Ford, and he will end up with a gain of 3. That'll bring up 2nd and 7. I am not going to leave the starters in too long here. Guys like Glenn McCutcheon, A.J. Brown won't get to play a whole lot. Now, on the 2nd down, we hand it to Brian Ford again, right up the middle, and he ends up making it a 3rd and 4. Now McCutcheon will line up in shotgun, possibly the last play he will play today. From the 31-yard line, he will look to pass finally. And he throws it over the middle. That is a wide open A.J. Brown, who was brought down to the 43. But now Evan Steffa, our starting guard, is injured. Hopefully the injury is not too serious. Now 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. He drops back to pass. McCutcheon with a quick throw to the outside, caught by A.J. Brown into Cincinnati territory. 1st and 10 from the 39. McCutcheon back in shotgun again. Will drop back to pass. And dropping farther back now, and firing deep down the left side, and that is incomplete, intended for Dallas Goedert, I believe. Now 2nd and 10. McCutcheon back in shotgun again. Brian Ford is the running back. Will take the snap, stand back in the pocket, throw over the middle. That one is caught by backup tight end Teddy Austin. to set up a 3rd and 4. We almost moved on from Dallas Goedert this offseason, but I was able to get him on a cheap-ish deal. But now on 3rd and 4, he'll throw it over the middle to a wide-open Brian Ford, who will get brought down to the 25. Now McCutcheon lining up under center. Brian Ford is the running back yet again. From the 25-yard line, it's a play fake to Ford. Now he's standing in the pocket, throwing downfield, and that is caught at the 10 by A.J. Brown, who's having one hell of a drive, and he has the first down to the 10-yard line. A thrown away pass on first down would lead to 2nd and 10 from the 10. McCutcheon takes the snap, drops farther back, rolling out and throwing downfield, and that will be tipped in the air, tipped again, and almost caught by Devontae Smith. That will lead to a 3rd and 10. McCutcheon back in shotgun, probably just going to go to the end zone on this play. He takes the snap, and he throws it to the end zone, and that is caught by A.J. Brown. How else was this drive going to end? Well, the defense would allow another touchdown, making it 14-7, but now quarterback Don Barnett is in the game. Let's see how he plays. I have taken out the 2 top receivers, and on the first play, he will find his man over the middle for the first down. I can't even tell who that is right off the top of my head. That was wide receiver Christian Peck with an 11-yard gain. Now from the 36-yard line, Barnett will hand it to Zamir White up the middle, and he will fight forward for a gain of 5. So that brings up a 2nd and 5. Barnett lines up in shotgun from the 41-yard line. He will take the snap and look to pass a quick throw in the middle. That is caught by Calcaterra, and he will fight his way to the 46 and have a first down. But now Jordan Mailata is injured. A couple plays later, Barnett is back in shotgun from the 49. He takes the snap and will look to pass. He fires it deep downfield, and that is overthrown. I think that was intended for Jonathan Stern. Let's jump ahead a little bit. On this drive, he has hit Jonathan Stern 2 times and Tremaine Powell once. Let's see if he can continue to do that. That's a pass to Tremaine Powell right over the middle, and that'll get us down to the 13-yard line to set up a 2nd and 4. Now Barnett back in shotgun. Ramondre Stevenson is the running back from the 13. He takes the snap and will give it to Stevenson right up the middle, and that'll set up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 3. Barnett back in shotgun from the 12-yard line. 7.5 minutes to go in the half. He takes the snap, stands back in the pocket, drops farther back, and he's under pressure but finds his man downfield. Never mind, he hits a defender in stride. How about on the next drive, defensive back Trey Brown picks off Bengals backup quarterback Jared Goff, and we take over at the 9-yard line. Okay, Barnett, they've given you great field position. Take advantage of it. 1st and goal from the 9. Takes the snap, stands in the pocket, now dropping farther back under heavy pressure and getting hit by 2 different Bengals players. 2nd and goal. From the 16-yard line, back in shotgun. Ramondre Stevenson is still the running back here. He takes the snap, will look to pass, and he fires it to the outside. That's caught by Stevenson, who will break 1 tackle and get shoved out of bounds at the 14. But now it's 3rd and goal. Just don't throw an interception. We can at least get a field goal from Jake Elliott. From the 14-yard line, he takes the snap under pressure and gets sacked again. All right, our backup linemen don't seem to be too great. At least Jake Elliott should be able to make this field goal. The kick is away, and it is 14-10. During simulation, Don Barnett would hit Christian Peck for a 16-yard touchdown. I apologize for not watching that one, but it should make the score 17-14. We now jump to the second half. We are all tied up at 17, and now Carson Wentz has officially made his return to Philadelphia here, as he will hand it off to Zamir White right up the middle, and White with a first down run. Well, I guess that actually wasn't a first down run, even though that entire ball looks to be over the line. 2nd and inches from the 35. Wentz back in shotgun. He throws to the outside. That is caught for the first down. That was wide receiver Christian Peck giving us the new set of downs. He has 3 catches for 28 yards. Now Wentz drops back to pass. He quickly throws it to the outside. That's caught by Calcaterra for another first down. Carson Wentz will line up under center from the 49-yard line. He will drop back, and it's a play action to Zamir White. Wentz now going deep downfield, and that is Jonathan Stern for the big gain. That was the first time we've seen Jonathan Stern make a catch. I think he had 3 or 4 receptions in simulation, but now 2nd and 7. A play action, and he is getting sacked on the play back at the 37. Stevenson is still the running back here. He takes the snap and will roll out. Never mind, he's going to sit in the pocket. Now throw underneath. Caught by Stevenson, who's met immediately and brought down. Though we will send Jake Elliott out for a 54-yard field goal attempt to try to make it 20-17. Here in the 3rd quarter, the kick is away, and this one should be good. We now jump much later into the game. It is the 4th quarter with 5 minutes to go. We are down by 3. Marcus Mariota is in at quarterback, and his first pass is a completed 4-yard gain. Now he lines up in shotgun, trying to lead a game-winning drive here. Ramondre Stevenson still the running back. I'll try to get more receivers and running backs involved in the later games, but we'll hand it off to Stevenson up the middle, who will run for the first down into Cincinnati territory. A couple plays later, it is 3rd and 3, about 3:15 to go in the game. Mariota out of shotgun will send Stevenson out wide, so he is now the only one in the backfield. It looks like he has Stern and Powell up top, and then he misses a wide open Teddy Austin, leading to a 4th and 3 where we will actually punt it away. The defense would force a 3 and out, but then the Bengals punter would absolutely kill that ball, so we take over at the 16-yard line with 2:05 to go in the game. Mariota out of shotgun will find his man over the middle. That is Tremaine Powell for about a 9-yard gain. 2nd and 1 out of shotgun from the 25-yard line. Stevenson is in at running back. 1:59 to go in the game. He's under pressure. It's a quick pass to the outside. It's a screen to Stevenson, who has the first down and is brought out of bounds at the 32. 1st and 10. Mariota back in shotgun. He will take the snap, stand back in the pocket. Now he's going to step up, and Mariota's going to try to take off. He will get brought down near the 40. We still have not burned a timeout. 1:30 to go. Mariota takes the snap, and he's going to try to take off again. Has the first down into Cincinnati territory, and he will finally get brought down inside the 40. That run alone may have just put us into field goal range. 1st and 10. 1:03 to go. To the outside, that's caught by Powell, and he goes out of bounds. So far, the young receivers look pretty good. 2nd and 5 from the 32. Mariota back in shotgun will take the snap, and a quick throw is going to be caught by Juan Jeffries to the 30, and now we have to burn a timeout because one of our linemen is injured. 58 seconds to go in the game from the 30-yard line. Zamir White is in at running back still. He will take the snap, handoff to Zamir up the middle, and he may have gotten to the marker. No, he did not. 4th and inches. So it looks like we are playing for overtime here. Jake Elliott comes out for a 45-yard field goal. Generally in the preseason in real life, we don't play overtimes, but it's whatever. The kick is away, and it is good. Like I was saying, we don't really play overtimes in the preseason. Most of the time they just end in a tie, but you know, EA is EA, so never mind. I guess they changed that. We actually will end in a tie here, 23-23. I'm really surprised EA actually updated that. Looking at the stats for the game, Glenn McCutcheon goes 6 for 9, 68 yards and a touchdown. He had a really good opening drive. Mariota went 6 for 7, 33 yards and the game-tying drive. Don Barnett 10 for 16, 127, 1 touchdown and a pick. Carson Wentz 6 for 9, 51 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. None of the quarterbacks really played bad, so as of right now, I'm going to keep all 4 of them. Running the ball, Marcus Mariota was also our leading rusher with 30 yards. Zamir White had 5.5 yards a carry. Ramondre Stevenson 3.5. Brian Ford only 3 yards a carry. So none of our running backs really stood out today. Receiving, rookie Jonathan Stern in his Eagles debut, 5 for 84. AJ Brown 4 for 55 and a touchdown. Tremaine Powell 4 for 42. So the 2 rookie receivers did really well. Grant Calcaterra 5 for 39. Christian Peck did catch a touchdown in simulation. And then what about defense? Adrian Amos led the team in tackles. In sacks, Thomas Daniels was the only one to get one. And interceptions, Trey Brown was the only one to get one there. In Madden, they only used the top 2 quarterbacks instead of using any of these other 3 on the roster. Why not go ahead and risk Joe Burrow? Looks like Burrow went 12 for 16. Goff went 13 for 22. Goff did throw a pick, and Burrow threw 2 touchdowns. How do we do defending the run? Backup running back Breece Hall, 13 for 65, 5 yards a carry. Starting running back Joe Mixon only ran the ball twice for 9 yards, 4.5 yards a carry. Receiving Jamar Chase, 6 for 108. That is not great because that was against our number 1 corner the entire time. George Pickens, their number 2 receiver, did get 2 for 41 and 2 scores. We do have a new injury, and I'm really afraid this is going to be one of our linemen here. It is going to be right guard Evan Steffa. Dislocated elbow, will miss the next 4 weeks. Let's see how quarterback Don Barnett does in game 2. Starting at the 8-yard line for this drive, out of shotgun. He will drop back to pass, stepping up in the pocket. And Don Barnett's going to launch this deep downfield. He's got a man, and that is incomplete, intended for rookie Tremaine Powell. They took a shot there. Now 2nd and 10. Still at the 8-yard line. Back in shotgun. Handoff to Brian Ford, who gets to the outside and will get brought down about the 10. They would rule that a gain of 3. Now Barnett's back in shotgun from the 11-yard line. Ford is still the running back. He will be looking to pass. Staying in the pocket, throws to the outside, caught by Brian Ford, and he will not get the first down. We will punt the ball away. We jump to the Eagles' next drive. It is 3rd and 1, still tied at 0. Barnett takes the snap, runs a play action, now going deep downfield, and that is incomplete. We will jump in one more time for quarterback Don Barnett, 2nd and 7 from our own 28-yard line. Handoff to Brian Ford, who has the first down, and will get brought down to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10, Barnett in shotgun, will take the snap. Looking to pass, dropping farther back, not going over the middle, and that is caught by Jonathan Stern, who will get brought down near the 46-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play. Now 2nd and 2. Barnett back in shotgun again. Brian Ford still the running back, and that's where we go with it. Ford up the middle, and he will get the first down. 1st and 10 from the 48. Barnett back in shotgun. Stevenson is the running back here. He takes the snap and will look to pass. He goes downfield. That is incomplete, intended for Juan Jeffries, who could not come down with it. 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. Back in shotgun again. He takes the snap, and it's a screen to the outside, caught by Ford, who has blockers in front of him, but is leveled from behind. That sets up a 3rd and 6. He comes out as the only one in the backfield here from the 48-yard line. Barnett will take the snap and look to pass. A quick throw over the middle, caught by Jeffries, and he's got the first down to the 38-yard line. A couple plays later, it is now a 3rd and 7 for Philadelphia. Barnett back in shotgun from the 35-yard line. Will stand back in the pocket. Now he throws over the middle. That's caught by Christian Peck, who has the first down, brought down to the 25. 2nd and 10. Barnett lines up under center from the 24-yard line. Ford is his running back here. He takes the snap and will drop back to pass. He throws it downfield, and he's got a man wide open. He missed Christian Peck for what was maybe a touchdown. 3rd and 10 from the 24-yard line. Back in shotgun again. We'll take the snap and look to pass. Barnett under pressure is getting sacked on the play all the way back at the 33, and now Mekhi Becton is injured. I may need to turn injuries up just a little bit, or down, whatever. I need less injuries. And weirdly, it seems to mostly be linemen that get hurt. For the other team, it's defensive linemen. For me, it's offensive linemen. But the kick is away, and it is good. We are tied up at 3. Barnett, with a minute to go here in the half, is at the 17-yard line. Tied up at 3. He takes the snap, drops farther back. He's under pressure and gets rid of it at the last second. Now a 2nd and 10. Barnett back in shotgun. Will take the snap. And it's a screen to the outside, caught by Brian Ford, who has blockers in front of him and will get brought down near the 10. That would set up a 3rd and 5 from the 11-yard line. 50 seconds to go here in the half. He takes the snap and throws it to the end zone and finds Jonathan Stern in the back of the end zone, getting his first touchdown as an Eagle. First touchdown as a pro as well. It does not really count because it's the preseason, but it's whatever. I'm glad to see that he did score. We jump much later into the game here. It is now the 4th quarter. Carson Wentz is in at quarterback. It is 2nd and 4 from the 18. Wentz throws to the outside and almost gets picked off. We now jump a lot later into the game. 3rd and 4 with 8:26 to go, up by 4. Wentz takes the snap, goes over the middle, and finds his man for the first down. 1st and 10, Wentz back in shotgun. Zamir White is in at running back. He takes the snap, stands back in the pocket. Never mind, he's going to take off up the middle and slides down inside the 5. That brings up a 2nd and 1 from the 3. Wentz back in shotgun. I believe that's still Zamir White in at running back. He takes the snap. It is Zamir White, and he, I think, will get the first down. No, they rule him inches shy. So now 3rd and inches from the 2. Wentz back in shotgun again. He sends a man in motion. He takes the snap. He stands in the pocket. Now Wentz rolling around. He's under pressure and will finally just throw it away. We were inches away from a first down. And I guess because we are inches away, we're going to go for it. 4th and inches from the 2. That is Kennedy Brooks in at running back. He takes the snap to the end zone, and that is a touchdown on the play by 84, which is Derek McCall. And in simulating the last little bit of the game, rookie running back Keith Dalton runs in for a touchdown. I thought they were just going to knee it out. That little yellow mark down there on the field near the 5-yard line is actually a knee. And then they ran the ball twice. So either way, get one more touchdown, make it 24-6, which should be the final score. And it would be your final score. Marcus Mariota honestly did not get to play that much. I only put him in after the Carson Wentz touchdown. Carson Wentz got to play the entire 3rd quarter. Mariota came in like right after that touchdown, which I think was like midway through the 4th quarter, like 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So we didn't get a lot of playing time. We'll try to get him more time next game. Checking out the stats here, Don Barnett goes 10 for 18 for 80 yards, 1 touchdown. Carson Wentz 4 for 10. He did not have a good day, and 1 touchdown. Mariota goes 4 for 4 and 33 yards. Running the ball, Brian Ford 43 yards, 4.3 yards a carry. Keith Dalton 3.8 yards a carry. Was the only running back to score a touchdown though. And then receiving, no one really had a terrific day. Juan Jeffries 3 for 33, Jonathan Stern got his touchdown, and Derek McCall got a touchdown. For defense, Thomas Daniels led the team in tackles. Tackles for loss goes to Josh Sweat, and sacks goes to Thomas Daniels, who also got 2. We got no interceptions today, though. What about the offense for the Ravens here? Lamar Jackson goes 11 for 14, 116 yards. Backup quarterback Brian Bush goes 6 for 14. Running the ball, Devontae Taylor, 50 yards. J.K. Dobbins, 57 yards. Receiving, no one really gashed us here. Before we get into the third preseason game, there was a training camp standout, and it's outside linebacker John Herrera, who now has received +5 to play rec. Looks like I get to make a roster move before the third preseason game. I tried to jump into it, and it was like, you don't have enough right guards on the roster. Well, apparently Levi Wesley got injured during training this week, so we have to go sign a new guard. The right guard I'm going to sign is right guard Chris Paul. He probably won't even make the final team, but we have to bring in somebody so I can play this game. And now, because I had to sign somebody, I also have to cut one player now because we're at 76 people. So I'm pretty sure I screwed up at the beginning of the video and I said we signed Sean Brown as an undrafted free agent. We did not. We actually signed Jason Graham as an undrafted free agent, so I apologize for that, but we're going to go ahead and cut Jason Graham to make room for right guard Chris Paul. We now jump into the third game of the preseason, but we jump in pretty late. There's already 2.5 minutes left to go in the half here. Wentz has been quarterback the entire first half. We have only scored a total of 3 points, but that play he finds Jonathan Stern for a 7-yard gain. Now 2nd and 3 from the 48. Wentz back in shotgun. Stevenson is his running back. He will send Christian Peck in motion. Wentz takes the snap, stands in the pocket, now fires over the middle. That's caught by Stern into Buffalo territory. A couple plays later, it is now 3rd and 6. Wentz out of shotgun, takes the snap, and throws over the middle to absolutely nobody. What the hell were you trying? And we will punt it away. I lied. The drive is not over. On the punt, they would actually end up roughing the punter. So now 1st and 10 from the 24. Wentz back in shotgun. Will go to the end zone on the first play, and he finds Jonathan Stern for a touchdown. I'm really glad with the way this kid looks so far. To kick off the second half, Mariota has already driven down to the Bills' 24-yard line out of shotgun. He will hand it to Kennedy Brooks up the middle, who will fight getting close to the first down, setting up a 3rd and 1. Now Mariota will come out as the only one in the backfield here from the 17-yard line. He takes the snap and will look to pass. Quickly goes to the outside, and that is caught along the sideline, but out of bounds is Tremaine Powell. We are going to go for it here on 4th and 1, though. Mariota under center. He takes the snap, gives it to Keith Dalton up the middle, who will get the first down and fight his way all the way down to the 10. 1st and 10, back in shotgun. I believe that's Kennedy Brooks back in at running back. He takes the snap, stands in the pocket. He's going to the end zone, and he overthrows Jonathan Stern, who would have just had his 2nd touchdown today. 2nd and 10 from the 10. Mariota back in shotgun. Brooks is still the running back here. He takes the snap, will look for a pass, and he throws to the outside. That is caught by Brooks, and he goes out of bounds. He wasn't actually ruled inbounds. Now 3rd and 10 from the 10. Mariota takes the snap, looking to probably just go to the end zone here. He's under pressure, and he's getting sacked back at the 16-yard line. So we will line up for about a 33-yard field goal here on 4th and 15. The kick is away, and we are up 13-3. We jump to much later in the game. Under 4 minutes to play, we are now down by 4. Mariota out of shotgun, standing in the pocket, under pressure, and getting sacked on the play back at the 32-yard line. So a 3rd and 16. Mariota in shotgun from the 32. About 3 minutes to go. He takes the snap, stands back in the pocket. Mariota launching it deep downfield, and that'll be caught inside the 20. That is wide receiver Christian Peck. So we remain in this game from the 17-yard line. Mariota lines up under center. He drops back to pass, and he makes the wide open throw to Derek McCall, and that'll be brought down about the 10. A little over 2 minutes to go. Mariota from under center. Keith Dalton is the running back. He takes the snap. It's a handoff to Dalton up the middle, who will get the first down for Philadelphia. That would officially take us to the 2-minute warning. 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Mariota hands off to Keith Dalton again, and Dalton to the outside will end up down to the 2-yard line to set up a 2nd and goal. Mariota in shotgun, 1:45. He drops back to pass. He's now going to try to run, and he is getting hit, fumbles the ball, and I think Philadelphia was able to recover it. We were. Now 3rd and goal from the 9. 1:25. Mariota takes the snap, stands in the pocket, throws it to the outside. That's caught by rookie running back Keith Dalton, who runs through one man and fights his way all the way down to the 4. 4th and goal from the 4. This is the game. Mariota takes the snap to the end zone, and that is caught. Touchdown Philadelphia by backup tight end Teddy Austin. For the first time in this preseason, we will watch the defense up by 3 with 1:11 to go. And the Bills quarterback will take the snap, and he's going downfield on the first play, caught by number 15 with the first down, fighting his way all the way down to the 43-yard line. Apparently their quarterback's last name is also Wentz. So Wentz back in shotgun with 48 seconds to go. He's going downfield, a wide open man to the Eagles' 40-yard line. What the hell happened there? All right, the defense is kind of falling apart. 1st and 10, and they will finally burn a timeout with 31 seconds to go. Hopefully that gave our defense a little bit of time to get their shit together. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Wentz out of shotgun will take the snap, and he's going downfield again. He has another man open down to the 24-yard line. A couple plays later, they would burn their final timeout, setting up a 3rd and 2, and they're going to kick this 33-yard field goal to try to tie the game. The kick is away, and it is good. The defense looked awful on that drive. Well, let's see what we're going to do here. From the 25-yard line, it looks like we are just going to hand off to Keith Dalton and take the tie. Well, I say that, but we burned a timeout, so 2nd and 5, 4 seconds to go from the 30-yard line. Mariota will drop back to pass. Let's see if he can get this ball downfield. He will just heave it as far as he can into the crowd, and that's knocked out of the air. We will tie our 2nd preseason game of the year. Okay, or not. It's 3rd and 5 with no time to go. I think EA is just kind of glitching out here. There's no time left. There's 38 seconds on the play clock, and it's not moving at all. I think I'm going to have to close the game and go back into Madden. Isn't this multi-million-dollar company great that it can't even figure out the basic shit to football, like the ending of the game? Okay, I left the game and came back, and it's decided we're going to overtime here in the preseason. Okay, well, I say we are. It literally won't let me do anything. I can't simulate plays. I can't do anything here. I literally have to play the game to do this because you're not supposed to have an overtime in the preseason. Okay, or I guess that's going to end it right there. I don't know what the hell happened there, but Buffalo is going to technically win this preseason game. Quarterback Don Barnett did actually sneak into the game and throw a couple passes in simulation. I did not mean for that to happen, it just kinda did. Marcus Mariota finishes 10 for 16, 115 yards and a score. Carson Wentz 12 for 23, 133 and a touchdown. Running the ball, Keith Dalton finished with 4.8 yards a carry, which I think might be a preseason high for him. Receiving, Jonathan Stern 6 for 75 and a score, and Teddy Austin 3 for 11 and a score. Christian Peck 5 for 93. He played pretty well. And then over on defense, leading the team in tackles is Nakobe Dean and Adrian Amos. In sacks, it is Akeem Davis-Gaither who got 1, tackles for loss, a few people got 1, and we got no interceptions today. Bills backup quarterback Emmett Wentz absolutely gaseous. He finishes today with a perfect QBR of 158.3, goes 12 for 14, 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. Ronald Jones runs for about 4.2 yards a carry. Receiving looks to be their best one of Lionel Verner, 4 for 55. Weston got a touchdown, Batch got a touchdown, and Andrew Teller got that touchdown in overtime that I still don't know why we played. So we officially finished the preseason 1-1-1, even though it should have been 1-0-2. But now to get down to 53 players, we have to make 22 moves. The first move I'm going to make is releasing quarterback Marcus Mariota, so we are going to go with Carson Wentz as our 3rd string quarterback. Before I cut any more players though or move any more to the practice squad, there are a few players that I want to trade away from the team. The first trade I'm going to make is wide receiver Christian Peck. I am sending him to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 3rd round pick just because we have a ton of receivers on the depth chart. This guy's already 24 years old, and with guys like Jonathan Stern and Tremaine Powell, I don't really see him fitting much into this team. The next player up I'm going to look to trade is outside linebacker Seth Collins. He's a 74 overall. He has a player tag of a future starter and trade target young because he's behind guys like Mark Collins and John Herrera. And honestly, I'll take this trade. I am sending him to the Houston Texans for a 2nd round pick. There is another outside linebacker here that I'm willing to get rid of, and it's going to be outside linebacker Colin Porter, another 3rd-year player. He has the tag of a future starter, 24 years old, 70 overall. We're going to see if we can move him somewhere. I wasn't asking much for him. We have sent him to the Panthers for a 5th round pick. There is one more player I want to look to trade, and that is defensive end David Fernandez. I did not pick up his 5th-year option during the offseason because we still have Josh Sweat here, who is a superstar X-Factor. At right end, we have Spencer Hilton, who played a lot better than Fernandez did in what little bit of playing time he got. So we're going to look to trade David Fernandez as well, but I actually have a plan for this trade. One of the teams that really needs his defensive end is the Cincinnati Bengals. Their best one is a 74 overall Dexter Morgan. And the Bengals just happen to have one player that I'm really interested in, running back Breece Hall. He is a backup to Joe Mixon, so on his tags he does have a trade target young player tag. Here is the first trade I am making with Cincinnati. I have sent David Fernandez to the Bengals for a second round pick. Then here is the next trade I am making with Cincinnati. I have sent our first round pick and 2 second round picks to the Bengals for running back Breece Hall. After all of that, there are now 18 players left that I need to get rid of. The first move I'm going to make here is running back Ramondre Stevenson. He's a 75 overall. It would clear about $2 million in cap space. Right now he's the 4th best running back on the depth chart, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of him. Running back Zamir White will also be released. At wide receiver, there are a couple moves I'm going to make. I'm going to release wide receiver Tyler Young to clear about $2 million in cap space, and then I'm also going to release wide receiver Derek McCall. So as of right now, Juan Jeffries is still on the team, but I can't guarantee that once I'm done here. But right now, I am going to release right guard Chris Paul. We currently have 7 active defensive tackles, so we're going to go ahead and release defensive tackle Salvador Beltran here. We're also going to go ahead and move Nathan Bates over to the practice squad. It really sucks having to move a 3rd round pick over to the practice squad, but that's exactly what we're going to do with Walter Swift just because he is not that good. We currently have 5 right outside linebackers on the roster. We're going to move Paul Thompson over to the practice squad. We're also going to move Mario Raymond over to the practice squad. Even though I did just sign him during the offseason, we are going to release outside linebacker Akeem Davis-Gaither because we still have Harold Stills, who played pretty well for us last year, but we also have Kevin Payton, who is a hidden dev trade. With 8 active corners on the roster, we are going to release defensive back Oscar Newhouse here. We're going to move Joe Piner or Penner over to the practice squad as well, and I believe that leaves us 6 here, which is about the number I like to run with. Free safety Kendall McCoon was a 6th round pick. We're going to move him to the practice squad as well. I just moved Sean Brown over to the practice squad. We're also going to move strong safety Joe Fields over to the practice squad. I'm pretty sure he's going to get taken off the practice squad, but we are going to move defensive tackle Joshua Donaldson over there as well. And the final player we're going to move over to the practice squad is right tackle Xavier Joseph. Well, it sucks that Walter Swift got signed. He was a 3rd round pick, but he was not very good, and it looks like Joshua Donaldson also got taken. We are going to bring in a backup left end in Harrison Phillips, though. He's a 72 overall, just in case Josh Sweat does get injured. And to make room for that move, we're going to move right end Cameron Shields over to the practice squad. But that will finally wrap up the preseason here for Season 6. Hopefully you guys are excited for this season, and I will talk to you guys next time.